Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again. Just stopped off in Brixham on a walk up to Berryhead, early morning, and just hiding behind the cloud there is a full moon just setting behind the town. Now I'm not very good at these sort of night scape photos, but I thought I'd give it a go. Well, it's a lovely morning here. Sunrise is in about half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. And I was going to hopefully get up to Berryhead for that, but the setting moon stopped me. But now, of course, it's not playing ball and it's gone behind a cloud. I did manage to get a shot when it was a little darker, but I was struggling to get the right ISO, shutter speed, and not sure what I've got right now, but we'll have a look at the images in a moment, I guess. Well, although I could see the moon, the light shining in the clouds meant that I couldn't get a sharp image of it. But I do like this composition with the moon reflected in the water. It was quite a fast shutter speed because the boats were moving slightly, which meant the ISO was quite high. So that meant for slightly grainy images, but it was a lovely calm morning. I'm moving up onto King Street, looking down at the harbour. This is still a nice image, but would have been nice to have the moon nice and round in the sky. Never mind. Okay, let's not waste any more time. There really is quite a thick bank of cloud now, so let's carry on to Berryhead. Well, last week I made the mistake of not turning on the microphone, and to start with I thought I'd made the same mistake today, but I think I just moved too far away from the camera and the microphone disconnected itself. What I'm trying to say is the sun's just coming up and it's going to be shining on the side of the guardhouse, and with the clouds above coming across, there must be a dramatic shot here somewhere. So I've got the camera set up on a tripod, low to the ground. Got a nice shot looking up at the guardhouse if possible. Get as much sky in as possible. Although I'm not sure this is going to work. There's not as much cloud as I'd like. Nice little herringbone pattern up there, but the long exposure will blur that out a little bit. So let's have a look at the settings, shall we? Well, when I started shooting I had a 10 stop filter on, and I did a 1 minute, a 30 second and I think a 1.5 minute exposure. So I don't know what they're going to turn out like, but now the sun is up, obviously this is a totally different scene. So I've really speeded the shutter speed up now, so we can go all the way up to 100th of a second. ISO 100, f11, focused in on the building, trying to get as much of that lovely sky in as possible. 2-second timer. Let's see what that looks like. Well, I do really like the sky, and as you can see the sun is shining nicely on the side of the guardhouse and making some nice light and shadow. So I have increased the clarity and contrast in the sky a little bit. Only thing I don't like, the grass is maybe a little bit too green. This shot is a little better. This was a much longer exposure with a 10 stop ND filter on. This is about 1 minute. As you can see, makes that a dramatic effect in the sky with the clouds coming across. So I turned this into a black and white image, and the thing to do with these shots is to make sure you know which direction the clouds are going. This is sort of coming out of the back of the shot into the foreground, really nice. And I'll give you a tip later on in the video on how to use colour to make more contrast in these black and white images. So I've just walked along to the headland, but of course it's very windy up here, so hopefully you can hear me okay. And I thought, when I came out this morning, I really didn't have a plan, but I'm really quite liking the clouds up here. So as with the guardhouse, I think I'm going to concentrate on just trying to capture some images along the coast and do different things with the clouds. I've already taken a couple of shots with just a fast shutter speed, and yeah, let's try a long exposure with a 10 stop filter on, see what that looks like as well. I don't think this is working. The wind's quite strong, and I think the tripod's just shaking ever so slightly. I've been trying to focus in without the filter on and then putting the ND filter back on, but no, it just doesn't look right in the back of camera. And I'm not even going to show you the long exposure shots I got, they were just far too blurred. But I do like the couple of images I got with faster shutter speeds. As you can see, there were some quite dramatic clouds. And what I've done while editing is using the colour tools just to make more contrast, a little bit more blue, a little bit more yellow in that one. And similarly with this one, I've darkened down the clouds and accentuated just certain colours, so there's a little bit more yellow just to accentuate the rising sun from the left hand side, and I've kept the other colours quite dark. So I think what I'll do is move along a little bit, see if I can find a more sheltered spot, maybe even find a bit of foreground interest to make the photograph a bit more interesting. What I think I'll do is go all the way over to the South Fort over there. There's a few old ruins over there, some nice walls and nice view down the coast, so let's go and have a look over there. Well, let's see if we can make a photograph here somewhere. I'm just going to take the camera out handheld and see what I get. The clouds aren't as dramatic now, and with the sun being a little bit higher, there's some nice contrast, but the clouds aren't looking as good. Let's walk around and see what I can find, shall we? Oh, that's good. Some reflections. Sorry, some shadows inside. I just need to get myself out of the way. There we go. I'm sure not to everybody's taste, but I'm trying to get some shots of this angle on this doorway with the sky behind. And then inside you've got some slots in the back there. Going to look like some strange. They're probably going to be quite strange images just about composition. But hey, let's have a look. Well, they don't build them like they used to. Really like this doorway. You can see how these stone blocks are cut. They almost look like they don't need any mortar to hold them together. But a really interesting subject. It was just trying to make a nice composition of it. Obviously straight on this one's not too bad, but then I tried the corners of the doorways with the sky beyond, and I liked the shapes, but didn't think that anyone else would like them, so I decided to put them into this little triptych, just to give you a little bit more context, so you can see the building in the middle and then the other two photographs I took. I thought this would be the best way to show them. And just to show you I can shoot in colour, I did like this little thistle, really nice. So I promised you I would show you how I use colour to help with contrast in black and white images. So there's two tools that I use. One is turning them a colour image into a black and white one, as you can see, and the other one are the colour tools above. Now when you change it into a black and white image, you can see below all the sliders for the different colours. So if you have a blue sky, you can use the blue slider to lighten and darken the sky. Now obviously I'm moving this from side to side with real dramatic effect. And you can do the same with the reds. There was a lot of red colours in the guardhouse. And the greens as well, a little bit more subtle. Obviously it all depends on your image, but certainly with the blue sky, pushing that colour down is really dramatic. And of course you can go to the colour tool above and do a similar thing by lightening and darkening the colour, even though it's in black and white. And you could also use the saturation. If you push the saturation up and then use the lightening and darkening tools, then it's going to have an even larger effect. For those that don't recognise it, I'm using Capture One, although the tools in Lightroom are very similar. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. Been a bit strange this morning. Came out with no plan, just for a walk. The moon was up, so that was quite nice. Quite calm and still in the harbour, and a little bit blustery up here at Berry Head. Bit of a mixture of photography. Probably nothing for the portfolio today, but still enjoyed getting out and trying some different things. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. And hopefully I'll see you all again next week. But for now, cheerio.